Good day, everyone, and welcome to our National Service Training Program 2 subject. I am Ms. Ira Bombasin. I am your instructor for NSTP2. And for today, we will be discussing Lesson 7, and this is about entrepreneurs and social entrepreneurship. So, for our topic today, here are our learning objectives. The first one, at the end of the lesson, you must be able to learn about entrepreneurship and social entrepreneurship. Second, have awareness about the habits and traits of an entrepreneur. Ano ba yung mga ugali, pag-uugali ng isang entrepreneur or isang nagbi-business. Third is to analyze factors on how to control enterprise. Okay, let's start with learning what is the meaning of entrepreneur. So, ano ba yung entrepreneur? Siguro ay narinig nyo na ito noong subject nyo during your senior high school days, grade 11, because you have your entrepreneurship subject. No? Doon ay pinagawa kayo ng product, pwedeng food, or pwedeng ibang service, no? And ibinenta nyo inside the school. Inalok ninyo. No? So when we say entrepreneur, you are the entrepreneur during your entrepreneurship subject. No, kayo yung nagke-create ng plano, kayo yung nag-iisip ng idea, ano kayang ibebenta ko, ano kaya yung produktong makamasa, ano kayang presyo ang ibibigay ko dito na afford ng target market ko. Yung target market ay yun yung pagtitindahan mo, pagbebentahan or bibili ng produkto mo. Okay? So an entrepreneur is somebody who organizes, manages, and assumes the risks of a business enterprise or community business. Okay? So, sa business, meron yung risk, no? Hindi lang yan tubo ng tubo, kita ng kita. Meron at meron yang risks. Katulad ng bawat sitwasyon na merong positive at negative, sa business din ay merong risks. Now, when we say risks, eto yung igagrab natin para makuha natin yung high reward. Okay? So, manalo, matalo, yung risk, yun yung matalo. Halimbawa, tataya ka sa loto. No, merong risk na masasayang yung 20 pesos mo kasi baka hindi ka nga manalo. Sa business, maglalaan ka ng puhunan na 100,000. Halimbawa, yung risk mo ay baka hindi na mapabalik sa iyo yung 100,000. No, malugi ka or worst case scenario, madagdagan pa yung inilabas mong 100,000 wherein hindi na mapapabalik sa iyo. Kasi nga, yun yung risk. No, na igagrab natin kapag nag-open tayo ng business, kapag ikaw ay naging isang entrepreneur. Okay? He or she is a member of certain type of community. Studies reveal that entrepreneurs are self-confident. Ibig sabihin, malakas ang loob. May kumpiyansa sa sarili. Matapang. No? Kasi nga, ite-take mo yung risk. No? Handa kang mawala ng 100,000 para lang masubukan kung para sa iyo ang pagbe-business. Kung isa ka talaga magiging long-time entrepreneur. Okay? They are optimistic. When we say optimistic, positive thinking lang. Ay hindi, itong 100,000 na ito ay tutubo ito. Within 3 months, mababawi ko na ito, maa-ROI ko na, or return of investment. Okay? They believe in the possibility of change or mastery of the environment through themselves. When we say mastery of environment, kaya mong kumapa sa nakapaligid sa'yo. Halimbawa, ang target market mo, again, pag sinabi nating target market, ito yung pagbibilan mo, yung customers mo. Nasa tapat ka ng school, so ang target market mo basically are the students. No, merong small percentage na teachers kasi nagtatrabaho din sila sa eskwelahan. Paano kung bakasyon? Okay, so sino yung magiging target market mo? So dun papasok yung kakayahan ng mga entrepreneurs to change or with the mastery of the environment. Kaya nilang mag-switch, no? Pwede silang magdagdag ng paninda, pwede maglagay ng kikiam, fishball, no? Para maging target market din yung mga naninirahan malapit sa school, no? Magiging merienda. O kung hindi pumatok ang merienda, pwede ka maglagay ng tapsilog, hatsilog, or mga silog meals na pwede nilang gawing umagahan, tanghalian o hapunan. Okay? Entrepreneurs are dynamic leaders. When we say dynamic, maraming kakayahan, hindi lang isa. Okay? They are creative, innovative, versatile, flexible, and receptive to the changes in their dealings with the environment. Okay? Halimbawa, nagkaroon ng problema sa staff. Dalawa lang yung staff mo. ikaw yung entrepreneur, ikaw yung may-ari ng business 'no. Yung isa ay nagpaalam na hindi makakapasok, sabihin na nating birthday niya kinabukasan, okay. Birthday ni staff number 1. Si staff number 2 kinausap ko na siya na, "Oh, papasok ka bukas ha, kasi wala si staff number 1. So ako na lang yung papalit sa kanya, ako yung magiging staff. Since Monday naman at siguro hindi gaanong karami yung dating ng customers kumpara kapag Sunday and Saturday or weekends." Pero may sinabihan din ako na papalit sa'kin or, susuporta sa'kin if ever na dumami yung customers natin, okey? Pero dahil naisip ng staff mo na, maraming gagawin, marami akong tatrabahuhin, dodoble yung trabaho ko kasi wala nga yung isang kasamahan ko. So mas pagod ako, sige, 'wag na lang ding makapasok, hayaan ko na si sir or hayaan ko na si ma'am bukas kasi may susuporta naman daw sa kanya, eh. So ganun yung dealings ng isang entrepreneur with the change of environment or with the environment 'no. Kailangan maging flexible ka, okey, so kailangan dumating na yung ipapalit mo. Kailangan alam mo lahat ng itinitinda mo, alam mo gawin 'no. Dapat, kumbaga is what do we call this term, first hand or on hand ka talaga sa lahat ng, proseso ng pagbebenta. Kasi anong gagawin mo kapag wala yung staff mo? Wala yung staff, okay. So they accomplish things through initiative and resourcefulness. Resourcefulness, kailangan mabilis kang mag-isip. Kapag wala itong isang bagay, ano ang ipapalit mo? Ano yung plan B mo, okay. There are habits and traits common to entrepreneurs. If you are an entrepreneur, you must be a good administrator. Okay. So kapag ikaw yung may-ari ng business or in short term, ikaw yung entrepreneur, dapat magaling kang maging admin. When we say admin, ikaw yung may hawak sa tao. Ikaw yung may hawak ng papers, ikaw yung nag-uutos or nagbibigay ng instructions, no, nagbibigay ng order. So dapat alam mo kung papaano gawin lahat. Okay. And of course, kailangan makatao ka rin kasi hindi ka naman susundin ng mga staff mo kung hindi ka marunong maki-blend sa kanila, kung wala kang respeto din sa kanila 'no. That's the very important one, respect. Despite of the designations or positions, kahit ikaw ang pinakamataas or ikaw ang pinakamababa, dapat ay meron kang respeto sa bawat tao. Okay. So nawawala lang naman yung respeto or name-maintain yung respeto or nadadagdagan, depende na yon sa pagsasama ninyo or nangyaring mga sitwasyon kapag magkasama kayo, okay. Next, a good leader. Of course, sabi nga, ang isang entrepreneur ay hindi kayang patatagin ang kanyang business or hindi kayang maging entrepreneur kung hindi siya magaling na leader. Okay. So again, 'pag sinabi nating leader, hindi lang napapasunod mo yung mga nasa ibaba mo or yung mga subordinates mo, 'no, yung mga staff mo. But when we say leader, you are able to create or to make decisions promptly, okay. May nagreklamo, anong gagawin mo? Anong isasagot mo? Kailangan alam mo yon kung paano gawin kasi you are the leader, okay. Next, a good planner. Of course, mag-i-start yang planning na yan sa pag-i-schedule ng mga staff, okay. Before, I have an on-hand experience or first-hand experience handling a business. We had businesses actually before. We had a milk tea shop, Cafe Bombase, and then we also had Cubiertos de Paso, yun nasa tapat ng gate ng LSPU 2. Kaso as of now, wala na yung businesses namin kasi ako yung nagma-manage ng Cafe Bombase which is, milk tea shop as well as mga snacks, meron din kaming rice meals. Located yan dito sa may arko ng Santa Cruz, makalampas lang kapag galing ka ng Santa Cruz Bayan. Hindi na namin siya itinuloy kasi nag-aaral pa ako no'n nung nagkaroon ng Cafe Bombase. And, gumraduate na, nakapasa na ako sa board exam and nandiyan na yung opportunities to teach. And I was really looking forward for it kasi nag-self-review ako for months, almost a year, to have that license. So, nandiyan na siya. So, I was very eager and yung ate ko naman is she's handling another business 'no. Aside from those two food businesses, meron din kaming, humbly sharing lang ha, business na paupahan sa Manila. So, nagluluwasan kami, we have to handle that. And masyado na siyang marami, hindi na kayang i-manage. Plus, gusto ko na nga ring magturo. So, hindi na namin pinush through. Nag-decide kami na, okay, kailangan natin magbawas ng responsibilities. Kasi kapag hindi, mawawalan tayo ng maayos na handleship doon sa the rest na businesses na hawak natin. So ayun, kinlose na namin yung Cafe Bombase. And then eto naman Cubiertos de Pasio, ang problem naman dito is since school siya, mas madalas pa yung sarado because of the pandemic also and because of the blending learning na set up na, meron ng mga online classes. So the students are more likely nasa house compared sa nasa school. So ang target market kasi doon since katapat siya ng LSPU Gate 2 is the students of course, and very minimal lang naman yung number ng mga teachers and ng mga admin or ng mga staffs doon sa school. So, ang target talaga namin is mga students. So, kapag walang students, who will be the target market? So, kumonti na siya ng kumonti and naging struggle siya because dalawa yung um, place or dalawa yung location namin doon. Kasi para siyang kiosk, 'di ba? Kung mapapansin niyo, canteen style siya pero dalawa yung pwesto namin. So, we decided not to push through with that also. Pero ngayon handle pa rin namin yung rental business namin. So doon sa na-experience ko pinakaimportante yung marunong ka talaga at maayos ka magplano. Hindi dapat pabago-bago ng desisyon kung ano yung nasabi mo sa staff mo, yun na yun. Pagpaplano sa pag-schedule ng pasok nila, pagpaplano kung kailan ka bibili ng stocks, pagpaplano kung anong oras yung bukas, anong oras yung sara. So merong mga urgent decisions na kailangan gawin katulad na lang na kapag wala ng tao, ng mga 2:00 pa lang magpu-push through ka pa rin ba hanggang 5 PM, eh, nawalan na ng pasok yung mga estudyante or pinauwi na sila. So, you have to make good decisions and good plans 'no, if you are an entrepreneur. The next is negotiator. Kailangan magaling kang mag-negotiate in terms of course, your stocks 'no, or your raw ingredients sa paghahanap ng mga suppliers mo, sa paghahanap ng mga ingredients or materials na gagamitin mo sa mga binebenta mo 'no, yung mga equipment na gagamitin mo halimbawa sa pagluluto, yung mga Tupperware, yung mga plastic 'no, gumagamit talaga tayo diyan, hindi maiiwasan. Pero more on paper cups na kami nung nagbebenta din kami ng mga drinks, 'yan ganyan. So, kailangan marunong kang mag-negotiate. Halimbawa, ₱100 po ang kukunin ko, eh, magkano po ba 'yun? So, ₱100 po ay ₱1,000. So, ikaw, what if 1,500 yung kuhanin ko? Puwede bang 1,200 na lang or 1,300 na lang? So, gano'n. Kailangan marunong kang magbigay ng option. Okay. And ang natutunan ko hayaan mo muna silang mag-offer na una at saka ikaw mag-counter offers. Siyempre sa counter offer mo, nakita mo na kasing, kung ano yung ino-offer niya so mas bababaan mo dun sa counter offer mo. Okay. Next is good communicator. Communicator in terms of the people around you, not only with the staff. Of course, if you are in the setup katulad ng sa'min sa Cubiertos de Pasio na nasa kantin ka, you have competitors wherein araw-araw mo din silang kasama kasi nga canteen style 'yan, maraming kiosk, maraming booth. Hindi puwedeng hindi mo sila kakausapin, hindi puwedeng hindi mo sila makakausap kasi meron din kaming ambagan doon. No, so makikipag-blend ka talaga sa tao and kailangan mong i-establish yung good image not only for yourself or as an entrepreneur but also for the business also. Kasi ayaw mo naman na maitsismis yung business mo na, yung may-ari ay ganyan ganito, hindi marunong makisalamuha, laging galit or laging kontra. No, you have to take care of the image, not only with you as an individual or as an entrepreneur, but also with your business. Next, a good decision maker. Yun na din, no, yung sinabi ko kanina. A good follower. Of course, follower in terms of sabihin na natin ikaw nga yung pinakamataas. But still your staff and the people around you in your environment also have something to say. No, kailangan is makinig ka, marunong ka makinig, marunong kang umintindi. And kung nakikita mo na mas tama naman talaga sila, you need to adjust, you need to follow. Okay. Next is an entrepreneur is also aggressive. Aggressive in terms of opportunities. Kapag nakalatag ng opportunities, dapat mabilis kang magdesisyon at mabilis kang i-grab yung alam mo na deserving and makakatulong sa'yo. Industrious or masipag, 'no? Hindi talaga puwede sa business owner or entrepreneur ang tamad. Kailangan talaga masipag ka. Dun pa lang sa sitwasyon na nawalan ka ng staff, hindi pumasok, may sakit, may emergency, so kailangan maliksik kang kumilos kasi paano kung ikaw na lang yung natitira sa tindahan, okay? Competitive. Competitive of course kailangan laging merong bago. Kung halimbawa food ang binebenta mo, fried chicken, siyempre kung wala ka namang ibinebentang iba, hindi siya magiging bago. But you have to be competitive in terms of your marketing strategies. Halimbawa, ang let's say ang rice meal mo, chicken plus rice is ₱65. So, meron kang tinitinda na palamig which is ₱20. So, 65 plus 20, 85. So, ibenta mo lang ng mga ₱83 or ₱79 yung may drinks na 'no, rice, chicken, tas may drinks na para madagdagan yung benta mo. Okay, ilagay mo lang siya sa smaller size than usual na paper cup para hindi lang yung manok yung mabebenta mo but also your drinks. Now, you have to be competitive. Yung mga combo-combo meal, yan, diyan ka bumawi sa iyong strategies. Next, innovative. When we say innovative, kailangan makapag-create ka ng plans or ideas from your previous idea. Halimbawa, nandiyan na siya, 'no? Dagdagan mo. Ano yung iniisip mo na pakulo, 'no? Halimbawa, dagdagan mo ng Shanghai para maging combo meal siya or siomai, magkano lang naman ang raw ingredients na siomai, 'no? I-steam lang naman siya or iprito, okay? Customer-oriented, of course, 'pag sinabi ng customer mo sa'yo na, "Ay, medyo matabang po yung timpla niyo sa chicken." Ikaw naman, "Hindi, masarap ang chicken ko, matamis yan." Ganyan, ganyan. So, you have to listen, 'no, to your customers kasi yan ang magbibigay sa'yo ng benta. Kumbaga, nagbi-business ka to provide their demands and their needs. So, kung aawayin mo yung mga customer mo, wala namang mangyayari. 'No, babagsak ang business mo at ang tsismis or word of mouth, sabihin na natin hindi tsismis, yung totoong pangyayari ay napakabilis maipasa using the mouth, especially the students, 'no? Kung sila yung target market mo, bumalik lang yan sa classroom, "Hoy, alam mo ba, dun ako kumain sa ano, ganon, 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 ganon," galit pa, okay? So, you have to listen to them and kapag may hindi sila nagustuhan, I believe na iba-iba naman talaga ang panlasa ng bawat tao. Try to give them feedback, good feedback that would also cater their comments, 'no? Kung hindi talaga, natikman mo na hindi okey talaga yung chicken mo, palitan mo na, okey? Kasi isa lang naman yung mawawala sa'yo. 'No, especially 'pag nakita mo na may mali talaga sa iyong gawa, palitan mo na kaysa i-shoulder mo yung napakaraming criticisms na hindi maganda kasi magre-reflect talaga yan, baka mawalan ka pa lalo ng customer because of that. But meron din kasing mga customer na talagang nananadya lang, yung parang nang-aasar, matabang po kahit hindi naman talaga, parang okey naman 'no. So you need to have the skill to handle those comments from your customers. Optimistic, positive thinking, determined, go, go, go lang. Patient, syempre kailangan mahaba ang pasensya kapag ikaw ay nagbi-business. Disciplined, of course, disiplinado kapag ang bukas na inilagay mo ay 7:00, hindi ka pwedeng pabago-bago ng bukas. Ay, sa akin namang business to, bukas 8:00 na lang. Medyo pagod kasi ako ngayon, 9:00 na lang siguro sa Martes sa isang araw. So hindi, you need to be disciplined. Kung ang nilagay mo diyan ay 7, magbukas ka araw-araw ng 7 because the people or your customers know na 7 ang bukas mo. Kung hindi mo naman kaya ang 7, from the start mag-decide ka na na 10 AM ka magbubukas kung yun talaga yung kaya mong, continuous na schedule mo, okay? Productive, okay? So, being an entrepreneur already, feeling ko is productive na siya kasi napakarami talagang duties and responsibilities ng isang entrepreneur or isang nagbe-business 'no, efficient, reputable, 'yan, that's very important. Kailangan yung reputasyon ay pangalagaan kasi nag-i-stay 'yan and napapasa nga 'yan from mouth 'no. Recommendations are very important. Halimbawa, tinanong ka ng friend mo, "Ay, saan tayo magla-lunch? Uy, dun na lang tayo kumain sa ano, kasi natikman ko kagabi ang masarap dun, tara dalhin ko kayo dun." So, that's very important. Enthusiastic, being positive, resilient, kahit anong mangyari, go, go, go lang. Energetic, of course, makikita yan ng customer mo kung ikaw ay masaya sa ginagawa mo or hindi. Halimbawa, may bumili, "Isa nga pong rice meal." "Ay, yung combo meal na lang po." Ikaw, "Ano ba 'yan, paulit-ulit? Ay, ano ba 'yan, pabago-bago?" So, kita nila yon. So, you have to be approachable and energetic. You have to show that you really want your business or you really want to be an entrepreneur. Next, resourceful. Kung wala ng harina, anong gagawin mo? Aside from patakbuhin ang iyong staff sa pinakamalapit na tindahan. Flexible, kailangan alam mo gawin lahat, no? Especially yung example ko kanina, kung ikaw ang business owner or ikaw ang CEO at wala yung mga staff mo, dapat you know how to do everything, no? Kasi ikaw nga yung may-ari halimbawa. Self-confident, happy, self-motivated, dapat papasok ka araw-araw sa trabaho na parang hindi pagod na pagod or kung pagod man dapat masaya ka pa rin sa ginagawa mo kasi nga nagre-reflect yan. You have to be motivated kasi sinimulan mo yan, ibig sabihin gusto mo yan. Okay? Hardworking, masipag, matyaga, self-reliant, healthy, tactful, helpful, tenacious, humble, humble, okay, that's humble, trustworthy, mapagkakatiwalaan, and thrifty. Okay, when you say thrifty, matipid. Social entrepreneurship. So, this one, nilagyan natin ng social. Ano kayang ibig sabihin nito? According to Peter Drucker's year 1986, he states that entrepreneurship is a self-oriented attitude. An entrepreneur must have strong values to accomplish what society needs, and what a value-driven innovator who enhances should be as equally important as the entrepreneur who enhances economic growth. So, in social entrepreneurship, dapat alam mo kung ano yung kailangan ng mga tao sa paligid mo. So, yun nga daw ang simula ng research, no? If you are familiar with research, and I know this is one of your subjects during your senior high school, ang sabi dito, ang research ay nagsimula sa problema. Meron ka nakitang problema at gusto mong gawa ng solusyon. So, para lang siyang entrepreneurship. Okay, may nakita kang problema at gusto mong gawa ng solusyon. Halimbawa, walang malapit na water refilling station sa inyo. Pumupunta pa kayo sa bayan. So ikaw dahil meron ka namang budget, nagsimula ka sa iilan, no, na water refilling. So your or the people around you, your kabarangays, do not have to go to the bayan for them to have this safe and clean water. Okay? So yung problema na malaking gastos, pagbabiyahe at malaking time ang nako-consume at effort 'no, nagawan mo na ng solusyon kasi nandun na, malapit na sa inyo yung water refilling station. And because of your business, you also have that ability to erase or remove the problems of the people around you because you already have the solution. Social entrepreneurship often requires the involvement of support of business and government in education, health, security, housing, as well as myriad of other social needs. Let me correct my pronunciation. It's myriad. No, myriad. When we say myriad, a great number or marami. No, maraming social needs. Okay? So, kailangan din ng support in terms of social entrepreneurship. Of course, in building a business, you need to accomplish the permits first. Kailangan mo magpe-permit sa barangay. Kailangan mo magpe-permit sa mayor. No? Kailangan mong magkaroon ng DTI permit, kailangan mong magkaroon ng yung sa cleanliness, no? Chine-check nila 'yan kung malinis ba yung tindahan mo, walang ipis-ipis or daga-daga diyan. Yung sa fire, chine-check din nila if meron kang fire extinguisher dahil kinakailangan 'yan sa isang business, no? If lalo na yung mga lutuan kung sa'yo, posibleng mag-start yung sunog, dapat meron kang fire extinguisher. So, there are a lot of permits that should be considered and should be accomplished in order to start a business. So, bago pa yun magbukas ha, and kapag ongoing na or open na yung business mo, mas marami din other documents na kailangang i-fulfill. and lalo ng mas mahirap kapag isasarado mo. Okay? So, yun yung social entrepreneurship. Support of business and government in education, health, security, housing, and other social needs. Social entrepreneurs are hunter gatherers of our culture. They look around, see where the food is, and go get it. The skills of teaching, sensing, hunting, and harvesting are very much alive in the entrepreneurship. They do not change themselves to fit their environment. Instead, they use the environment to meet their needs. Okay, we also have stages of growth of community-based enterprises. For the stage problem identification or stage one, the behaviors and actions are recognition of a felt need within a community of one or more persons. Perceive that a need or opportunity exists in the community. Okay, so first is kailangan mo muna ma-identify bago ka mag-start, 'no, katulad yung na-mention ko kanina about sa research or bago ka mag-start ng business. Dito naman is community-based enterprises, 'no. Kailangan alamin mo muna kung ano yung problema dahil yun nga yung gusto nating magawa ng solusyon wherein dun papasok yung pag-usbong ng ating business. Okay, the second one is idea articulation. The idea is verbalized and people begin to talk about it informally. Possibilities for actions or for action is are suggested. Dito na naman sa pangalawa, ang ibig sabihin nito is yung bukang-bibig na 'no or pinag-uusapan na. And then the third one is community idea ownership. The community takes ownership of the idea, actively sharing information. So dito na ginagawa ng makatotohanan 'no, yung formal na pinag-uusapan. Next, the fourth one is community mobilization, gathering of human, physical, financial, and technological resources. So in here, kumukuha ka na ng different sources or resources kung ano man yung gusto mong gawin sa iyong community-based enterprise. No? Yung mga tao mo, mga staff, mga financial, of course, the first one that we really need is the financial aspect. Kailangan meron ka munang puhunan or budget before you start a community-based enterprise or even a business. Next, the fifth one is the community action, control, and accountability are established. So dito is sinasagawa na kung ano yung gagawin mo for the community or for the society. And number six, community reflection, collection of performance indicators, outcomes evaluated, and feedback to stakeholders, recycling and redeployment of resources. So in short, nire-review na dito sa part na ito yung ginawa mong community-based enterprise kung ano man ang budget. Okay? Alright, so to get out of poverty means to move up the continuum and eventually achieve a certain degree of financial stability or success. Not all the poor can completely be alleviated from poverty. Pag sinabi nating alleviated, parang maalis. Alis sa pagkakahirap. No? Hindi naman lahat ng mahirap ay 100% maaalis sa kahirapan or sa pagiging mahirap. But we as a person, no, individually, gusto nating maka-move out doon sa poverty na tinutukoy dito. Gusto nating maka-move forward. Gusto nating makarating doon sa financial stability. Pag sinabi nating financial stability, wala kang problema sa pera. No? Meron kang sapat na pinansyal para matugunan lahat ng iyong pangangailangan, basic needs man yan, or kahit yung sa wants, or yung mga ginugusto na natin para sa sarili natin, no? And because of entrepreneurship or being an entrepreneur, there is a possibility na ito yung maging tulay, ito yung maging paraan para makaalis tayo doon sa kahirapan. Okay? We also have the Magna Carta for Small Enterprises, Republic Act number 6977, otherwise known as the Magna Carta for Small Enterprises, is an act to promote, develop, and assist small and medium enterprises through the creation of a small and medium enterprise development council and establishment of a small business guarantee and finance corporation. The mandatory allocation of credit resources to small enterprises and the rationalization of government assistance program and agencies with the development of SMEs. Okay, so ano po ang itinutukoy dito sa Magna Carta for small enterprises? Ine-establish lang nito 'no, na matulungan yung maliliit na negosyo, yung mga nagsisimulang negosyo, small to medium enterprises sa pamamagitan ng pautang ng gobyerno. Okay. So, para magamit as capital sa kanilang mga business na siyempre meron din namang maliit lang na tubo, okey? Gano'n din sa mga livelihood programs 'no, para mai-train, para magkaroon sila ng idea. Para maging familiar sila kung paano sila magsisimula ng negosyo na again, this is one way for us to elevate poverty or move out of the poverty situation that we are currently in. Okay, so now we have controlling your enterprise. Managing a small business requires using management principles as in a large organization, which are planning, organizing, controlling, staffing. Okay, so once you are an entrepreneur, kailangan mo na ng managerial skills. Okay, so what are those management principles or skills that you should possess? Planning, organizing, controlling, and staffing. The first one is the planning. The planning function of looking into the future often gets lost in the strenuous day-to-day operation of a small business. Okay, strenuous day-to-day operation of a small business. Okay, so dito naman, katulad na nabanggit ko kanina sa pagpaplano pa lang, napakarami ng kailangan mong i-consider, no? Hindi pwedeng nakapokus ka lang sa particular day. Kailangan alamin mo kung ano yung goal na gusto mong marating, ano yung goal natin sa ating business. Dapat alam nating kung paano magplano, no? Dahil ito yung magiging susi para maging successful ang business. The second one is organizing. So it deals with decision making and how to use resources to get objectives accomplished. So from the word organize or organization, kailangan matutunan mo ito as an entrepreneur. Okay? And part ito on how you will control your enterprise. No, organizing, paggamit ng resources and decision making na makakaapekto sa pagpapatakbo ng negosyo. Okay, how will you decide sa mga resources na gagamitin para ma-achieve mo yung mga objectives mo sa negosyo? So, you have to be organized as an entrepreneur. Hindi puwedeng kung saan-saan nakalagay ang mga documents, hindi puwedeng nakabalandra lang yung mga ingredients mo, 'no? Especially yung mga suppliers na pinagkukunan mo dahil yan ay isa sa mga sikreto or kakaiba mo or, masasabi nating magiging kakaiba mo kumpara sa ibang departments or ibang negosyo na same lang naman yung tinitinda niyo. Halimbawa, yung chicken, 'no, you have the same fried chicken na ibinebenta, but of course, you have different suppliers. So, you need to be organized. Kailangan maitago excuse me, kailangan maisaayos mo or maitago mo na maayos yung mga secret kumbaga sa iyong negosyo, okay. Next is directing. This is the leader's job. It involves guiding. Effective directing comes from good listeners. Okay, so katulad na lang sa paggagawa ng movie, ang pinaka nagdedesisyon dyan ay director. So halimbawa, ikaw yung entrepreneur sa negosyo. So you are the leader. Yan ang trabaho ng leader, mag-direct. Okay? So this is the way how you command, the way how you give instructions to your staff. So kung malabo ang instruction mo, syempre magiging malabo din yung magiging aksyon or output ng inyong staff. So you have to be effective and efficient in giving instructions. Dahil yung mga staff mo ay sa'yo din naman nag-aantay ng mga information or ng mga utos kung ano yung mga dapat gawin at kung ano yung mga tamang gawin. Okay? And I just want to add dito sa directing, if you have noticed that there's a mistake in the action of your staff, nakabibigay mo lang ng instruction, you have to direct them also carefully in terms of giving comments, suggestions, and feedback. No, hindi pwedeng sigaw-sigawan mo ang staff mo kahit sabihin mo na ikaw yung nagpapasahod dyan galing sa business mo or sa sarili mong bulsa yung ipinasasahod mo sa kanila, hindi pa rin tama na disrespectful ka mag-direct, no? Disrespectful ka magbigay ng feedback na tatapunan mo ng tubig, sisigaw-sigawan mo, no. That's a big no. Okay? Next is controlling. This is setting procedures to stay on top of progress. It is concerned with the many ways to keep an eye on how the business is doing. Okay, so dito yung pag-overlook sa buong takbo ng business. No? Paano mo ma-maintain yung business mo kung halimbawa ay nasa peak ka na ng track mo, no? Paano mo ma-maintain yun? At kung halimbawa naman na pababa ka na, paano mo yun makokontrol para mapabalik ka ulit sa taas or mapabalik ka ulit sa posisyon na masagana yung business mo or maraming benta, maraming mga customers. So you need to know how to maintain and how to control. Next, staffing. Now, from the picture itself, when you see staffing, this is your business with competent people. This is very critical to work efficient and establishing good customer relationship. Sabi nga nila, ang star ng isang negosyo ay yung mga empleyado. So, you have the power, no? Or yung HR manager mo, kung walang HR manager, ikaw din, since you are the business owner, for example, you are the entrepreneur, you have the power to choose your people. So choose the best staff, no? And you have to think of ways kung paano sila mapapanatili sa business mo, paanong hindi sila lilipat, no? With the benefits that they are getting, you need to be competent with that also. Kailangan isipin mo yun ng malalim, no? Kailangan deserve nila yung nakukuha nilang benefits from you because they give their best in your business. Okay? So, moreover, this refers to particular human resource department, no? Again, yung mga tao, kung sino dapat ang i-hire, ilan dapat ang i-hire, and how will you manage your people inside your organization. Okay? So, that's the end of our discussion in our lesson 3, which is about entrepreneurship and social entrepreneurship. And I have an activity in here because, as we all know, in this week, April 21 to 25 will be our foundation days. 2025, no. So this is my activity for you. I know you should be enjoying the foundation day, but this is just a photo, no. Mag-picture lang kayo ng isa. I know lagi naman kayo nagpi-picture. Ano, kapag merong event, paki-siksek or pakisali itong activity natin para nag-e-enjoy kayo, nakaka-accomplish na rin kayo ng activity, no? So, I really think deeply of our activities na hindi na siya magiging ganong ka-struggle. Yung at the moment of the foundation day, you can still accomplish this one while enjoying. No, you have to take a photo with an entrepreneur. You will see during the PWU Foundation Day 2025 from April 25 to 21 to 25. So, isa lang po na picture, no? And create a caption about it. Rubrics, authenticity of the photo, not edited. Halimbawa, ma'am, di po ako nakapag-picture, ganyan, ganito, ganyan, ganito. So, dapat authentic. Dapat yung picture mo is hindi edited. Okay, sa picture mo, persons in the photo, NSTP student, that's you, and any PWU entrepreneur during the foundation day, that's 25% also. What do you mean by any PWU entrepreneur? So, pwedeng may student na nagbebenta, pwedeng may teacher na nagsasandok ng drinks, no? Nagbebenta rin, pwedeng staff, kung sino man ang makita mo sa school proper or sa Metro Central na entrepreneur ng PWU family, either student or staff, no? Doon ka pwede magpa-picture. Okay? Connection of the photo with the informative caption. Of course, hindi ko naman magagans yung photo kapag photo lang siya. Or possible din naman dahil may mga photo contest na photo only, but I still need the caption. Okay? Ikwento mo ng maiklian lang. Brief caption about your photo. Halimbawa, nakita mo ako na nagbebenta ng juice during the foundation day. This is Miss Ira Bombase. She is an entrepreneur because she is selling juice during the foundation day. She is located in the ground floor of the main building of our PWU school. And as of this day, the third day of the foundation day, or the fourth day, she gathered 75 pesos already at 11 a.m. So I asked her about her experience being an entrepreneur, and she said that it's one of the best days in her teaching life. So ganun, no? Example lang naman yon, but it depends on you how will you put caption. I just want a story in the caption. And of course, applied understanding of the lesson, that's 25%. And the total is 100%. So that's it for our lesson 7. Thank you, everyone. And I hope you gained something from our discussion. That's it for today. Thank you and goodbye, and God bless us all.